that's our group, that's our tribe. Hey, going back to what the original question was. And it's like, I feel deeply for everyone that I've met and all of my new friends, and I've never felt this connected before, but I can't imagine, like, you know, if I were to die, or if someone were to die, or if something bad would have happened, obviously I would feel very deeply, but ultimately my life is my life is viewed through my lens. I don't think of you know, this happened to this person, that affects me in this way, but I'm really only seeing it through my lens, and I can't really truly feel the impact of the loss or the bad shit that's happening to this person. I feel for them, but I can only feel in my bubble. Whereas I think that certain animal species, they feel the bubble too, because their survival is very much based on the group that they're a part of, and that's like a separate feeling other than themselves. Obviously they feel for themselves, but you know, there are certain species that sacrifice themselves for the group, so it's like they have this deeper connection to the group, and that's something very primal that I think that we lost with language, and that was a separator, because we didn't have this depth to our connections in the same way, and something split us, which, you know, made us, you know, and we obviously got really good at using tools and took over the whole fucking planet. But you know, I honestly think it'll ultimately be our downfall, because we can't feel for another person in the way that like a dolphin or a whale can feel for another dolphin or a whale.
Well, I think like,
and I am putting in a lot of assumption on that.
Yeah, but I mean that's also kind of like what I think that's kind of why we're doing what we do too. Like as far as performance and stuff.
Oh, I just do it for
helping people feel.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it back.
Hey!
It's helping because like the only way you can get some people to get that emotion or to have it or to like give it to you is to like kind of trick them into letting their guard down, like in a show, like in a comedy show or something. Like some people are just so but when they're in the dark and everybody else is laughing and the lights are on other people,
they can let
that's
it go.
when you can get it, and like that's when you can like show them a little bit of your lens.
Absolutely.
You know?
So based off of what you were saying, it triggered a different part of how I like to experience shows.
Yeah.
And I love going to friends' shows, and when there are, people in the audience, and it's maybe the beginning of a show, and no one is laughing yet.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's so weird because you're in a comedy basement. That's what you're there to do.
Yeah, these people paid to do this.
You're supposed to laugh, and then they don't. And I really enjoy being there and just obnoxiously laughing.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
At the simplest thing, just like ha 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 ha. And then
that's how you developed your laugh.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, you're right. And then
support of others.
And then other people are just like, oh yeah.
She's
laughing.
I love
it. We see you.
And then it's like, oh cool.
Exactly.
My job, and especially for school night, it's just like, hey, they're starting out.
Yeah.
Like, laugh.
Yeah, chill out. Like, what is this?
And I love we got in that habit of like, hey, we're all experiencing this together.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We're in it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I love our dynamic together. We have a straight absurd dynamic going out there to begin. Like you're a bit absurd and I'm kind of the straight. I think that's how I perceive it, but like
I think the best part is that both of you guys perceive it in the opposite way, and it's better to do it that way.
You go out and you start shaking people's hands and stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, well, she's doing it again. All right, fuck, okay. Anyway, we're starting this.
I just want everyone individually to love me.
We don't have to host this week because it's my graduation.
What?
Yeah.
No one told me this.
Your graduation isn't school night, though. Your graduation.
It's afterwards. Yeah.
Are we doing it too?
Yeah,
sorry,
oh shit! I was just not going to show up. Okay, fine. I guess I'm hosting school night too.
Because she still has to do school night.
Yeah. God damn it!
God
damn it!
Address your obligations, graduate.
I don't want to do
8 p.m. is the Kevin McDonald show.
Oh, I know. We're
which
at
I'm going to be in. So come, so you watch that. I'm taking the workshop.
Well,
I
never
wish I had the money
mind. Fuck
to do
me.
that. Yeah.
Fuck me and my misremembering of things. All right.
Did anybody have any final
cues?
Cues?
No, I was just gonna say I know that like we're not biffles, like me and you aren't biffles, like
Biffles?
What's a biffle?
BFFs, biffles.
Oh my god. I didn't know what a biffle was.
You were taking a really negative guess, though. I think.
I didn't know what it was.
Hey, I'm trying to play the deli game. No, but I was gonna say I really like working with you in this conspirators thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You too.
And it's funny because like my younger brother constantly is just like, you and Malia are real confident with your ideas. I was like, yeah, well, you gotta think about it, like, out of the group, we're the ones that also, like, perform and stuff, so we got, like,
Sure.
I've never done something on stage that I didn't have opinions about.
Yeah, well,
on
it's
some
like,
level.
you know, if you're gonna be doing a project, you better have a fucking opinion about it, otherwise what the fuck are you doing with yourself,
Right.
your brother?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like he's...
I'm coming in hot!
Shots fired.
No, he's been telling me to shut the fuck up since day one. He's just been like, hey, you know, I could have said something. It's like, well, do
Well,
it.
fucking
you know?
say something.
Yeah.
If you got a goddamn opinion, listen, if you're doing a writer's room, everyone has their opinion, majority generally rules, and when the writer makes the final decision, then hey, it's their work. They get to do what they want to do. But at least they've heard all sides.
Yeah.
If you got an opinion, you're not saying anything about it, then what the fuck are you doing in there?
See, but we're the ones
Sometimes
that need
people are
everybody-
loud, and other people don't know how to be loud.
I was gonna say,
Well, then you tell your opinion to a person who's loud, and they'll say it for you.
See, that's
Now,
what I've been doing. I've just been relaying his messages.
On Sunday, we had the neighborhood, and Michael was in his first meeting with the whole crowd, right? And when we have our meetings, just so you know now, it is a loud cacophony of everyone yelling at each other, and we're all in it, and we're all being part of it, and I'm soaking up as much as I can, you know. But sweet Michael on Sunday kept being like, and he would raise his hand, and I turned to him at one point and I was like, you're just gonna have to barrel right in, because this is how this always goes. We're all just like,
I feel like me and Nathaniel kind of like, well, wait, what about this? kind of
no, everyone's like that. It's not just one person.
It's just very counterintuitive to how I am as a person. And I remember seeing Michael do that.
I know, and that's why you're in the group.
I hate it though, and I felt so weird about it when you, Brett, and I had that meeting, and I felt like I snapped at you, but I feel like I did.
Okay, it wasn't perceived that
so
way.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
but last week was shit, and this week is also turning out to be shit, and it was just like. I think I was starting to say something, and then you had also were like, but also, and I just thought, I wasn't finished! I'm not fucking done. Can I finish?
And honestly, if you were genuinely mad when you were doing that, I took it as a like, shit, yeah, come on in, let's do it.
I just took it as like, but I wasn't done.
Yeah.
I wasn't done.
Yeah.
And then I think you're just like, oh, go ahead. And I felt weird about it, just like, cool.
Okay, well, for the future...
Okay, now, wait, I got your attention now, what do I do?
For the future, know that I am not at all affected and I want you to talk like that.
Okay.
Like, if ever I interrupt you, just, like, say, Malia, shut the fuck up.
It just feels so... Because I don't want to waste time. Yeah. I don't... If all three of us were about to ask you a question, but Wendell beat me to the punch, and it's like, oh, I was going to ask that? Great. Glad he asked.
He's doing
and maybe I'll get something out of his answer, or if his question didn't fully
resonate.
It's a dance, you know?
Yeah. If it fully didn't satisfy me,
Gotcha.
then I will, proceed to ask my question.
Sure.
But a lot of times, like, I like to finish and, like, respect other people and just, like, okay, all right. I offered you your chance. Give me mine.
See, I'm an interrupter.
That's what I love about you, Delia.
Yeah.
I feel like you're doing that
over the
inside
period
all
of
the
time that we've been doing the podcast, though, I've learned that about you, is that, like, when Delia has something to say, you give her the floor, and then she takes a second to get there, and then she gets there, and then she asks the question, and it's good, and it leads to a great discussion.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes you'll be like, you make this face like you want to say something, and then I'm like, Delia has a question, and you'll go, and you'll wait.
Because everybody turns to look at you, and that kind of sucks.
And then you'll say something.
Perfect impression.
Yeah. So it's like the longer we do this, the more I like get used to your vibe. So like I know how to. That's why even in the meeting I watch you, because I know when you're about to say that. Your face immediately tells me that you want to say something. So I'll be like, "Shut up! What's up, Delia?" Because when I say "shut up," the room shuts up. You know, I have that superpower.
That's why I just gotta look at you more and just like look at me. I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say a thing.
Make a thing. Here we go. No,
the more noobs there are, the easier it'll be for you to be a leader, though, because they don't know how to talk either.
And I appreciate that. I really do. But I want to myself do it. You know what I mean? Like I love it, and thank you. I really do appreciate it. But I want to do it by myself.
You're gonna.
Yeah, but you're getting better at it.
Dude, you are so getting better.
You're a strong lady.
I think that I am. Anyway, this isn't about me. It's about you, Melinda.
No, it's not about don't look at me. I don't want it.
Yes, but why is about all of us? That's why it
Get existential
exists.
again.
Well, dude, it takes a drop of a fucking hat and I will get existential. I had, my first severe depression was due to an existential crisis.
Yes.
At, 12. I had an existential crisis at 12.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I've been like that, too. When I was younger, I was very deep feeling as a child.
Well, I was actually talking to Louie about this the other day. I got, real into it. Getting into it. Hey. But,
should be their next guest.
I'm their tech person. So
I can run tech.
Hey, well, they'll figure it out. But my aunt is a philosophy and ethics professor, and was for my entire upbringing, and I'm significantly older than my brother and sister, so when my brother and sister were toddlers and babies, my mom used to send me once a month to go spend a weekend with this aunt in Houston. And she would just hey, Plato's allegory of the cave. Hey, here's a bunch of ethical dilemmas. I want you to, hey, 8-year-old, here's all these quandaries. Think about philosophical things. And I was weird and alone, and I liked getting attention from adults. So I really made a conscious effort to put thoughts into these things. But my parents didn't really instill any sense of religion in me. So when I hit 12 or 13 and I realized I was going to die, I was like, fuck, what happens? And then I got really depressed for 3 years. Because I just, you don't have a solid, hey, heaven and, actually, it's because when I started the depression, my mom was like, oh shit, backtrack, heaven, it's great. Every ice cream forever, everything's great. But the thought of a, forever level existence as the person that I was with the likes and dislikes that I had was terrifying to me. The thought of a never-ending existence, just the thought of infinity. I was like, fuck that! That sounds awful! I want things to change. I want things to grow. I want the idea of a finite existence.
You want to better yourself.
I want to fucking better myself.
What's so bad about dying? In the end, because that's what makes everything up to that point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's everything is important because.
But tell a 12-year-old, hey, be okay with dying.
Yeah.
I used to have nightmares where I just imagined blackness and nothingness.
Yeah. No,
I'd just be like, what if it's nothing? And then I'd imagine it and I would fucking freak out.
Yeah. I just, the idea of non-existence and the idea of eternal existence are both equally terrifying to me. So, yeah, that's what happened. That was my first depression, and, I, as a child from a family who doesn't do anxiety and depression, being, a weirdo who was prone to depression only set me further apart. And also, I'm pretty sure I am only this way due to a near-death experience when I was 5.
Oh, we want to hear that story.
I was attacked by dogs.
What?
And almost killed. What? Man, I'm having
How many dogs?
2.
2.
A hound and
And you were 5?
German Shepherd. I was 5.
Oh,
I was a very small, tiny 5-year-old. And I was playing in the backyard of a neighbor. They were my only friends. There was 2, but they were a 6 and 7-year-old boy. And these dogs, the backyard that backed up to their house, they were dogs that were trained to be guard dogs, and so were particularly vicious, and then just saw these, like, screaming children, you know, and we were in their backyard, and their parents were inside. It's not like they were being negligent, but, like, these dogs just went for it, and I was the slowest one. So, I immediately put my hands around my neck